Good afternoon, family, and welcome back to GodSpeed, where we provide you a weekly market overview for the Lexus LC500. Family, tonight I'm super excited because we're finally getting into this 3-video series that we're calling our 2024 predictions for the LC500, okay? On tonight's episode, we're going to take a deeper dive into the 2018 LC500 and look back into 2023 across all 4 quarters and take a closer look at how the pricing was impacted by the low, medium, and high mileage opportunities, okay? All right, fam, let's get into tonight's episode. But before we do, take a moment, hit the like button for us, subscribe, let's go. All right, fam, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you guys, but I'm going to start out just by saying, listen, obviously I had limited information to go back and look at. Now, interestingly enough, I was able to actually pull from a kind of full market review. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know that we've went through some different formats, and sometimes, at the end of the quarter, we will absolutely do a full market review instead of just my favorite 3 top picks. Okay, so thankfully I was able to go back for Q1, Q2, and Q4 and actually extract data from those fuller market reviews that we do. Okay, that's also something I'm gonna make sure we get back into, because as we start to look back, I want to make sure I've got at least one of those videos every quarter so that we can kind of see from a summarized perspective, the trend just for the quarter, right? So I was able to capture that, but I will say this, right? You guys know that every one of these opportunities is in somewhat unique. So if you guys scrutinize this enough, you could probably pick it apart and make a great argument about how I might be all for something of that nature. But the goal here is for me to kind of share with you with the level of detail that I look at this market every single week, and in some cases every single day, over the last 3 years. I mean, I've been reporting this out with you guys as a partnership for the last year, but I've been doing this on my own personal, prerogative for the last 3 years. Okay. And so what I'm saying is I'm sharing with you my point of view. Okay. All right. So, I want to get this in front of you again for individuals who are, on the edge of maybe, should I wait to buy? Should I buy something? I mean, nobody's going to be able to truly 100% predict where the pricing is going. But what I want to do is I want to give you some kind of tool to where at least, we can have a good conversation about it, get some thought leadership involved, and at least stimulate each other on what our best assumptions and guesses are. Okay. So with that being said, let's get into this, right? I've broken this up into 3 different segments, right? So we're going to talk about the low mileage, first, and I'm calling low mileages anything for 2018 from 0 to 29,000. Now, the reason I'm getting at that is because a Lexus dealership recommends that we service these things every 5,000 miles, and every year they expect 2 intervals of service. That's 10,000 miles. We all know that not everybody drives these things the 10,000 miles because they're not using them as their primary commuter vehicle. So I'm calling anything between 0 miles and 29,000 miles, which lands within what the manufacturer recommendation or expected mileage per year is, to be, average for these guys. Okay. So let's get into it right now. If we look at Q1 of last year, we saw pricing for the low mileage opportunities like this one I'm showing on screen right now, $69,980 for a 13,000 mile sports package option. Okay. When we got into Q2 of 2023, we saw the price go down slightly by about $1,500. You also see that this one has a little bit higher miles, but it's also got a better package on it. So it's got this performance package. But we did see the price go from $69,980 to roughly $68,500 on this particular opportunity. And as you notice, right, where possible, I tried to sneak peek, a little bit of the Carfax report right there. I won't say report, but just like the health indicator. So this one's supposedly a fair deal at that price, and that's just to try to help us understand a little bit more like the opportunity we're looking at, right? Was it high, low, fair deal? And that's a fair deal for Q2. Now, when we get into Q3, which you guys know I've been socializing this, and I even back in Q3 I started talking about, hey guys, we're I'm starting to feel like prices are going up, right? Well, let's take a look at it. Now, again, not really comparable to the previous one at 26,000 miles, but when we go back over to this other one, this one's a $72,995 option that's got 15,000 miles. I will say this one's more of a unique opportunity because it's 15,000 miles and it's L certified. But look what happens to the price, right? We actually, instead of going down, we go up. So now we're at $72,995, okay? When we get into the end of the year in Q4, we see the price increase by a couple bucks on an even better opportunity, right? Well, questionably better, okay? But this one's got 12,000 miles on it. It's a sports package, and it's coming in at $72,998. Now, when we take a look at our chart up here, right, what we see is that pricing dropped in Q1. It continued to drop in Q2. In Q3, mind you, this is after the summer. This is like September. We start to see pricing go back up, or at least some of higher opportunities entering the marketplace. That trend stuck with us in Q4. And so now what we'll do after we finish reviewing the middle mileage and the high mileage opportunities, we're going to get and take a look at what we currently see on the market as of today. But that's the trend right there, family, for 2023 on low mileage opportunities, right? You absolutely saw a curve where we dipped down in the summer, and then we came back up in the fall and the winter to exit 2023 at some of our highest prices of the year for really good low mileage options. Okay. Now, when we jump down to the mid mileage, right, slightly different picture. Okay. So we start the first quarter out with an opportunity that's 33,000 miles. It's a sports package and it's coming in at $67,209, right? We get into Q2, we've got a reduction. We see a price decrease. This one's, interestingly enough, got roughly the same amount of mileages at 33,000, same sports package, okay? But this one, and both of these are coming from dealerships, not Lexus dealerships, but dealerships, right? This one actually goes down a little bit in price by about, maybe $2,000 to $3,000, and comes in at $64,995. We see even further reductions when we get into Q3 with this opportunity right here, where pricing goes up a few thousand miles to be 35,000, stays with a sports package, and now we've got a price point of $62,998, which is roughly about $2,000 in savings. And then in Q4, what happens? Wow, we absolutely stay in that same mileage. We go down 1,000 to be 34,000 miles. We stay with a sports package, but look what happens to the price point. Instead of going down by $2,000, we go up by almost $3,000. Okay. And so when we look at the trends here for mid mileage vehicles or opportunities for the 2018 year model, and these are 30,000 miles to 59,000 miles, we see a price reduction from Q1 to Q2 to Q3, but then, family, we see a nice little bump back up in Q4 to get us at not the highest price mid mileage opportunities for the year, but the second to highest, right? We go back, we're more expensive on mid mileage opportunities in Q4 than we were in Q2 and Q3, only trumped by the higher prices that we saw at the beginning of the year. Now, when we look at the high mileage segment, okay, and we're calling these to be anything 60,000 miles to 100,000 miles, okay? When we look at that, we start the year out with opportunities at $61,500, and that's for a 75,000 mile touring package opportunity, okay? These traditionally we don't find at dealers. The majority of these we find at brokers, okay? When we jump into Q2, we see some price reduction, right? By about $1,000. We stay at that $75,000 price package. We stay at a touring package, and we're coming in at $60,420. When we jump into the summer, it's balanced, it's flat, right? Because if you think about it, we got, it's a slight incline, but right, flat to a small incline, right? Now we're up about $500 to $60,975. We shaved off about 10,000 on the mileage. We also get a better package, right? This is a performance package. We get custom wheels, okay? And then in Q4, man, I mean, the bottom just falls out, right? I mean, we go from opportunities, and I will say this too, family, like I mentioned at the top of the video, right? This is not a 1000% exhausted picture of what we saw quarter over quarter for each of these tiers in mileage, right? Because I'll be honest with you, we saw some $50,000 opportunities in Q3 clearly, okay? But, or I should say 55 and 56 and stuff like that, right? But Q4 definitely opened up to us our first $49,000 options, right? Okay, we've got an 86,000 mile performance package opportunity here. And if you look at the trending, right, Q1, we saw some low pricing. Q2, reduction about a bit. Q3, small reduction or we stay flat. And then in Q4, we saw a real nice reduction where we saw, the most affordable non-salvage, non-water damage vehicle, right, that you could pick up go from like your $50,000, $60,000 price point to now the high 40s. Okay. All right, family, let's take a look now at what the market is showing us. But before we do, let me just do a little real quick recap, right? So if you were looking at higher mileage opportunities last year, you saw those constantly get cheaper quarter over quarter. Now, I'll be honest with you. My prediction for 2023, before we get into the actual review, what the market's doing today, I feel like we're still going to watch pricing go down a bit, but I think those outliers, right? But I think personally, I think we're going to see, where I would love to see the pricing go more towards the mid 40s. I think we're going to see some resistance right here in the high 40s, and I think we're going to start to see a push back up into the mid 50s for some of these high mileage opportunities. Now that goes to say 60 to 100,000 miles. I thought we were going to see a lot of opportunities over 100,000 miles in Q4 this year. We saw one or two pop up, right? But I think next year we're going to see more of those. Now, for anything over 100,000 miles, I think that's where we're going to see maybe some of those higher 40s to mid 40 pricing opportunities, okay? But I think for anything in the 60 to 100,000 mile range, especially like these 65, 75 mileage opportunities, I think 2024 is going to show a bit more resistance and push back into the mid 50s. Okay, let's get into this market overview for the 2018 Lexus LC500. So we're going to look at the entire market here. Let's just get into it, right? So we've still got our lowest priced opportunity that's not a flood vehicle, right? Because this one over to the right, it's got, rebuilt title, things of that nature. Not considering those, this one right here is absolutely a solid opportunity. 2018, the cheapest of on the market, $49,995, 92,000 miles on it, of course, right? And let me just jump down here. 0 accidents, 3 previous owners. Okay, so we start the year out obviously with the same low price that we left Q4 of 2023 in, okay, which is $49,995. I think that's the cheapest we've seen. A relatively approachable Lexus LC500. Okay, now let's see what else we have here. So we've got an opportunity here at $55,000 with 73,000 miles on it. Okay, this one is this this is Nissan. All right, this looks to be at least a sports package. Let's see, 73,000 miles. Yeah, I didn't see the carbon fiber. So that's a sports package, right? This one's got 1 accident reported on it, and 3 previous owners. Okay, so 55,000 miles. Not the worst in the world, especially if you do the Carfax and you find that was a low impact damage, right? Now jumping over here, right? We got a couple more that are climbing up to $57,000 almost. Both of these have, this one looks to be a sports package at the very least, tapping on 58,000 miles. This one's a touring package. This one looks like it might be at a dealership. No, thought that was at a dealership. Want to make sure that wasn't a certified opportunity, right? But that's not a certified opportunity. But that's a good opportunity. I think this is probably one of the best. This is probably one of the best opportunities right now in this high 50,000 price point, right? It is a private owner. It's coming in at $57,000, 39,000 miles on it. I love that we've even got some aftermarket little goodies done to it, right? We've done a full blackout here, the tint, all of that black. I mean, trust me, this person's got some money in just the aftermarket, getting this thing all blacked out like that. So definitely got to give some kudos for that one. And let's make sure, we'll see what the specs. Okay, 0 accidents, 3 previous owners, right? I mean, come on, this one's not a bad opportunity if somebody's saying, hey, I've got a budget of 50, high 50s, and I want to get as a low price mileage as possible. That's definitely one to consider, right? Now this is a beautiful one right here. I mean, it just hit the market. It's at Texas Cars Direct. Never worked with these guys before, but I'm just talking about the vehicle itself, right? Definitely, it's got some. It's a touring package here. I mean, has not been prepped, right? But I mean, what's that say? 2 previous owners, no accidents reported, okay? And it looks like a Texas vehicle, okay? Let's take a look at the stats on this guy. 46,000 miles. Yep, and 0 accidents, 2 previous owners, coming in at, high 50s, okay? Not a bad option there, right? Obviously, you got to validate that, okay? Yeah, and then right here, right as we start to get at the $60,000 price point, I think we start to get in. I'm going to probably touch on this one, right? This one's coming from BMW dealership. We've got a beautiful sports package, right? It's got a great show to it. It looks to be in great condition. We got some tinted windows. We got the OEM carbon fiber spoiler to show on that one. I mean, this color looks great. Some beautiful Michelin tires on that. I mean, and looks to be, kept up, right? 50,000 miles. It's not the end of the world, right? 0 accidents, 3 previous owners, and you know what? We're right at 60 grand. Okay. So I think, $60,000 is going to get you a few opportunities. This one's a definitely good opportunity right here. Where's this one coming in at? This one's a performance package. Another BMW dealership. All right, BMW snatching up all the LC500s. Yeah, really good package right there, because we're talking 43,000 miles, $60,000 flat. Best package you're going to get on that bad boy. Let's look at the stats real quick. No accidents, 2 previous owners. Yeah, that's solid. Okay. Got a couple custom options. If I'm not mistaken, this one right here has got some damage to it, but this one right here, no damage. Custom options, got the full air suspension on there if that's something that you're looking for. This one's not a bad one either. It's customized, and I think that's why, people are not rushing to get this one. 41,000 at 60,000 miles, not a bad day, right? Here's another good opportunity. I think this one's newer on the marketplace too. 60,000. If I'm not mistaken, this one's a touring. Is that touring or is that a sports package? I've got the carbon fiber spoiler on the back. That one's definitely touring pack. Nope. That's touring package. Sorry. So this one's a touring package, right? Great offering, though. I mean, it's a great looking car, right? You got the front grille blacked out already. You got I don't know if these are painted or if these are vinyl wrap, but those are already blacked out. Looks like the rear lights, same difference. Everything's been completely. All the chrome's been taken away for you, right? So you got a great starting place right here. 0 accidents, 3 previous owners. Looks like it's got some rental use. So you might want to look into that. I don't have any experience with rental vehicles, but if you guys know like I do, let's just think creatively here for a second. Anytime we've rented any car, at least the younger we were, right, the more the more wild and curious we were in the vehicle. So I'm just going to say that and leave it at that. Okay, jumping into the 62,000, we got 47,000 miles right there. Okay, here we get now, well, this one, I'm not going to read across the top here just yet because these are kind of advertised and they're jumping, they're taking us out of context here with the exception of this guy right here. So this one's, I'm curious as to why this one, I mean, 2 accidents reported, which let's face it, the picture kind of tells a little bit of that story, right? So not surprised why that one's affordable at 21,000 miles. Now this one, what's the deal on this one? Because that's 12,000 miles, clean, 0 accidents, 1 previous owner. Yeah, this who's that in the background? Sports package with the OEM carbon fiber spoiler back there. I'm not mad at that. Looks like it's been lowered too, guys. Looks like that's definitely been lowered. So it's either coils or springs. And I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at, you see that gap right there? You see how it's lower gap right here? Thinking that's probably coilovers, right? Just because traditionally, if you get the spring set up, the normal spring setup is going to give a little bit more height clearance on the front because that's where the weight of the vehicle is, right? Sports package because of that glass top. There's that carbon fiber OEM spoiler. Love that. Little cleanup wouldn't hurt in here, but the leather looks nice and tight, right? That's what I'm more focused about, right? A little bit of cracking right there, but that's to be expected on black, right? If you guys have, partnered with Lexus in particular on the black leather, right? It will show a little bit of signs of wear. Now, family, at 63, I feel like that price was less out here. No, okay, 63. At $63,000. Man, that one might be the one to, where are we at here? Are we in Texas on this one? Riverside, California. Okay, so you got to be in Cali. But, man, this would be the one to go look at, right? I mean, I would definitely take this to the Lexus dealership and say, hey, guys, check this bad boy out for me because this one feels like it's a little too good to be true. The reality is that this thing probably was captured via an auction because it is currently housed with IE Auto Sales, so it probably came through an auction. They got middle of the road reviews here, which is why I would supplement and make sure I got Carfax, and I would make sure I got this checked out at the Lexus dealership. But this could be a potential tremendous opportunity. Okay. We got a certified option here, right? This is the touring package. I love it when you come across that touring package with the chrome spec, either from the factory. Oh Lord, hold on. We got some, I need to get up in this one because this is, oh my gosh. For some reason, I don't think I've ever seen this combo. I wonder if somebody built this one. Because obviously, family, that is that amazing Inspiration Series interior. Okay. But I feel like I've never seen it with that exterior color. I feel like I've only seen it in, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen it, but I'm definitely not questioning this, right, as an authentic vehicle because I've seen it in the white. Obviously, it came in Inspiration only with the blue exterior, right? But I've seen this package in a white exterior as well. I just probably have never come across it with the silver. So this one's kind of interesting right here, right? Let me know what you guys think about that one, right? But it looks to be in great shape. This is at the Lexus dealership. So, I mean, you can't get more authentic than that, okay? Let's look at the deets on this real quick. So we've got a touring package, 37,000 miles, atomic silver. This is that bespoke white interior. This one's certified pre-owned. 0 accidents, 3 previous owners. Heck yeah. Okay, that's not a bad way to go right there. We got the tinted windows on there already. Yeah, that's a good look. That's a good look right there. Okay, so definitely putting a nice little star on that one. Really feel like that's a good look. I might have to preview that in the traditional market review later this week. Okay. So look, we're in that mid, and I'm not going to go through every single one here, family, but we're in that mid area here, right? So we've got some really good miles and we're coming in at roughly, you know what I'm saying, I would say the higher end of the low 60s to mid 60s. Okay. And when we start to see some difference, right, is when we get up into, I know this is just overpriced, not really sure why we're pricing that vehicle like that. This one's certified, and I'm not 100% mad at that, but I mean, it is high. Um, when we get into some super low ones, like eight, again, I don't know why this one's still sitting out here, right? I think it's because, let's face it, right? There is a little bit of that shock. Back in the day, or this summer, I should say, you could have gotten this for in the mid 60s. Okay. And so now to have to sit up here and pay like, more towards the mid to high 60s is a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. Same thing with this one right here, same thing with this one. I mean, this is a touring package with those 22, right? But that's why, family, I'm saying that, listen, prices are increasing, right? And these aren't, these, I mean, this one's saying high pricing, which I would agree. This one's a fair deal. I mean, it's 14,000 miles, right? This goes back into that conversation that we had all last year, which is for individuals who want those super, super low miles on a 2018. Guess what? You've always had to pay a premium for it, but I think in Q1 of 2024, I think we start to see an increase on the premium that you're going to have to pay. So here's where I think we're going to be for the 2018s. Now, once we get up here, guys, now this one right here, I think, this one's 11,000 miles. I mean, this better be a Lexus dealership, and I think it is because I see the, I mean, look at that OEM carbon fiber spoiler. Got light tint on this one. I don't understand how we got that much. Oh man, look at that. Whew. Oh, this one's got the, is that LED? Yeah, this one got the light. I've never seen that. I mean, I know the option exists, but I've never seen it on a vehicle. Or the Lexus LC500, I should say. Interior looks immaculate. Oh my gosh. Yeah, baby, they gonna get that 71 for this one. Because, I mean, you've got a beautiful, pristine vehicle like this right here. I mean, they haven't even taken all the plastic. This thing still got the plastic on the Mark Levinson subwoofer back there, right? I don't see any scratches. I mean, it's been babied. It's been loved on. 11,000 miles. It looks like it's got 11,000 miles on it. Heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the only thing that would make this better is a performance package. But for me personally, and for those of you guys who just want that sunroof, well, not sunroof, but the glass top, I mean, I love the performance package, but the only thing the performance package does for me that I just, after experiencing the car, I just really want a little bit more light in that cockpit. And so, of course, you don't get that option unless you build it. And so, I was very much willing to give the carbon fiber top away and the retractable spoiler for a little bit more light in the cockpit. But I think this is a perfect opportunity. Somebody's going to, step into this dealership. Let me see. This is, I thought I saw Lexus. 0 accidents, 2 owners, obviously. Oh, Auto Hub of Virginia. Okay, man, that might be the only thing. Might be the only thing, right? Check it out. They took the price up by $10. Might be the only thing that as to why they don't get the full asking price on this bad boy. But interestingly enough, I could have swore I thought that was a Lexus certified little banner over there, but maybe yeah, that's a comp star. Okay, so yeah, if that would have been at the Lexus dealership with an L certified, man, they'd get 71 for that bad boy, because I just know certain individuals in our community even who would come out for the extra coin for super, super low miles like that, right? Okay, so but 75,000 for 31,000 miles, that's a no-go, right? A lot of these, once we get up here in these, they're just outrageous, right? I mean, this one's customized. We all know for the most part, whenever you customize the LC500, it becomes a harder, proposition to sell, right? Not impossible. And I'm not saying I even agree with it, right? Because I think certain customized or modifications, could actually demand a premium, but the market has settled on this is that, listen, if you've got a custom vehicle, you're probably better off just go ahead and returning that bad boy to stock so that you can get your best money out of it. This one right here, we saw this one hit the market at $100,000. This one's going to be a unique opportunity for somebody, right? Because it's a year one inspiration series. It's got less than 10,000 miles on it. The last time I saw a price on this one, he had actually dropped it down to like $89,000. So there's absolutely some wiggle room. And I will say that as this gets down into the low 80s, it's going to become more of attractive opportunity for somebody, but this one we'll just have to wait and see, right? But family, from what we've looked at tonight, I honestly believe that this year we're probably going to see pricing at least in Q1. I'll be honest with you, I'm not even going to try to predict Q2 because traditionally pricing reduces in the summertime, right? So let's just talk about Q1 right now, because that's about as far as I feel confident giving any type of predictions. I feel for Q1, if you're looking for the 2018s, I think for a low mileage opportunity, you're going to be anywhere from mid 60s to mid 70s. Yep, you heard me. I know, $10,000 range there. And it's because, for a 10,000 mile option, I think you're going to be right there in that mid, the high low 70s to mid 70s is just going to be what you expect to pay, right? Because there is something unique about picking up the 2018 models. Now, there's some noise out there where people say that the year model that was most hand built, absolutely 2018s. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not here to contest that. I'm just saying that that's a little bit of the noise that I'm hearing on the street that also drives up a little bit of the value and why the 2018s just kind of hold value more than you might even expect them to. Okay. If you're looking for something in that mid mileage range, I think you're going to be anywhere between, 60, low 60s to mid 60s, right? And then for the high mileage, I think we're going to absolutely, and I don't think we're going to lower. I don't think prices are going to get lower until we start seeing some opportunities that are over 100,000 miles. But for those which are like in that 60,000 to 100,000 mile price point, I'm actually thinking we're going to probably stay within the high 40s. And by that, I really mean $49,000 to the mid 50s. And by that, I mean $55,000. I think that's where you're going to be looking at for, a really, a nice high mileage opportunity. Okay. All right, fam, that is our episode, or at least our first of the 3 videos in this series, which focus 100% on the 2018 models. I really hope this was able to provide some level of benefit. I know it's a longer video. I know it's a lot of details, but for the people in our community who are looking for this level of, granularity, I'm hoping that it kind of checks some boxes for you, and for those of you who just kind of wanted a high level summary, then I'm hoping you guys were able to fast forward and get to the information that you were looking for. Definitely looking forward to next week. And, I know I'm sounding a little different this week because I'm still kind of getting over this cold. Hopefully by next week, I'll have my energy levels back up. I'll have my voice back 100%, and we can dive into the actual 2021 hardtop and convertible look back for 2023 and predictions for 2024. Thank you all so much, family. If this is your first video with GodSpeed, definitely head over to the full channel where we have weekly market reviews, aftermarket showcases for products for our car, and our LC500 pick or video of the week. Family, have a tremendous evening. Love you all. GodSpeed.